right, everyone, welcome back in T&J Sports. No, we took a week off, back at it, but it is one of the most favorite times of year now. We have a conference tournament action in college basketball, followed up by Selection Sunday, which is this upcoming Sunday. We've got a preview of the Power Five conferences and their conference tournaments this weekend or week. So, T-Stalls, how you doing this week?
Doing well, man. Like you said, it's March. It's my favorite time. Not only is it my birthday month, but you got the best time for college basketball.
Yeah.
Even though it's not my college basketball team, but
Well,
still got something.
it'll get there.
Yeah, we have one more game left, one for sure left. So there's some excitement around that. It's definitely a winnable game. So
I'm riding high with Kentucky the way they played Saturday, being down, not having no point guard, and then CJ Frederick, who would have probably been the point guard with his broken ribs out there wearing a damn flak jacket. So
he broke his ribs. Jeez.
3 broken ribs he's playing through right now.
Hey, stay strong. This is the time you got to play through it. A lot of people's playing through those injuries. I mean, I know broken ribs are crazy, especially playing basketball. You try to drive in, somebody just elbow you one time, you're done. But yeah, hopefully you can get through it.
Yeah, so he's got that jacket on to help protect, but I mean, still, with broken ribs, you can't even really breathe comfortably. I mean, so. But let's see. What do we want to start with? We're going to start with ACC tournament action first. Right? They kick off first tomorrow. So we're recording this on Monday the 6th. Tomorrow's the 7th. Coming at you quick with the ACC tournament. Obviously, Louisville's playing tomorrow. That's not normal. Early.
I forgot what they call this. They call this it's a garbage day pretty much. You don't want to play on Tuesday. You don't want to play the first round of the ACC. Well, of any tournament, you don't want to be that first day. You usually want to be that first bye or that second bye. But Louisville's in, that first round for the second year in the row. So let's see if we can squeak out a win here. Like I said earlier, it's a manageable game, very winnable game against Boston College at 4:30. So we'll see.
So let's see what we got going through there. We got Miami's the 1 seed. We got Virginia, Clemson, and Duke round out the double byes. We got Pitt, NC State, North Carolina, the 5 through 7 seeds. Syracuse and Wake Forest. Now, for as much crap as I've heard about Syracuse all year long, the fact that they're 8th, in the conference, just like because all I've heard is Jim Boeheim's retired. Which he probably does. But
I don't know. For some reason, these last couple of years, everybody has, been on the same narrative that the ACC is down and that the league's not good. But I mean, look what happened last year. You had a first-year coach take UNC to the championship game. Did they win? No, but I mean, it was a down year for us then. It was number 8 seed going all the way to the national championship. We had a lot of teams in the Elite Eight last year. So I mean, I think we have. Our competition and skill level may not be as crazy as everybody thinks it is, but once we actually go against other competition, everybody starts slowly see, okay, we underestimated the ACC. It's been like that the last couple of years. So I don't know. Syracuse is good. Every team on here is, of course, not even the first round teams are that good. But, if you go all the way to Syracuse, the top 8 are teams I can see making it to Elite Eight. And Syracuse is one of those teams, as you know, with Boeheim being very, very they're always making the tournament in some capacity, whether it's a high seed or low seed, they still make a run. And Miami's definitely has the willpower to make it all the way to the championship game. So I think the ACC is very powerful, and you'll see a lot of that happening in this tournament starting tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, so first game tomorrow, Florida State, Georgia Tech, followed by Boston College, Louisville, and then the nightcap is Virginia Tech and Notre Dame. I guess you want to go. We can go through and just go through. Like I think Florida State and Georgia Tech. Honestly, I think in my mind, it's really a toss-up. But I don't really trust either of them. Who do you feel like can come out of that game?
For the very first game to kick off, Florida State and Georgia Tech. I mean, Florida State for the longest was right there with Louisville in wins. They had one win or two wins maybe going into our matchup against them early in December, and they destroyed us and shown that they are not the worst team in the ACC. But they have the athletes that can, make something happen. They won't go far probably because they have Pitt next game, but I think they'll beat Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's not that great. Louisville showed that multiple times this year that Georgia Tech is kind of right there in us with skill level. So I think Florida State will get the job done and win in that 2:00 game.
Oh, so Florida State is 1-4 in their last 5 games, and Georgia Tech is 4-1.
I mean, this is when you want to hit hot, and it looks like Florida State's not hitting hot. Georgia Tech is, but I don't know, something about the tournament time, ACC time that they may kick it in, but we'll see. I can definitely see this being a toss-up. I mean, the first round games are usually garbage on garbage, and that's what it is right now. Yeah, but we'll see. Florida State, I think, will take care of business, though.
I can see that. I feel like I trust Florida State more. So move Florida State on. Louisville, Boston College is next.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You've got, per ESPN, you got a 23% chance to win that game. I mean, I don't know how to beat Clemson.
Yeah.
That was your last.
We beat Clemson because we had the 2013 dedication game. That was the whole celebration for them, and they definitely didn't want to lose in front of that nice crowd that we had for that game. So I think that was the momentum we had and motivation to win that game. And Clemson probably just was like, they were sleepwalking through that game and kind of, forgot that they still have to win against Louisville, and they didn't. But I don't know. This team hasn't given up on the year, which is crazy to say after being, 4-27. This team still hasn't given up on the year, hasn't given up on the coach, KP. So I'm hoping they keep this going. He said it. He said he feels like we can win this. I don't know why he feels that way, but I mean, every coach is going to say that regardless of, what the year looks like, that every coach feels like their team will win. So you don't have to win the whole thing, KP. Just win this game, and I think they can do that against this Boston College team.
Yeah, I mean, you are on a 4-game losing streak where each loss is about like 15, 16, or 17 points. So, yeah, I mean, I want to roll with Louisville just for your sake. Just they got that has to be something positive to end the year, and you got to get one. And I do think
I wouldn't mind. Yeah, and I wouldn't mind another matchup with UNC just to go against Baycott one more time, just because I would trash him.
I would just hack the hell out of him.
Yeah,
just put in some reserve to just beat him up and maybe steal a win, get him a little not injured, but get him a little hurt.
We get to be bubble busters right now, and that's what we've been the last 10 games is bubble busters, because every team we've played has either been close to the bubble of making the tournament or really need to win out to get a good seed in the tournament. And that's where UNC is at right now. They need to at least make it to the semifinals in the ACC to make the tournament, or at least to get a good ranking in the tournament, seed in the tournament. So that's what we can be right now. We can be a bubble buster for them. And I think with Sidney Curry and how he plays against UNC and Baycott, I think that'll be a good game for us to go out there, beat them up a little bit, and get another win. But I mean, that's just an optimistic Louisville fan for you. But we have to beat Boston College first. So, but that next game, 7 p.m., Virginia Tech, Notre Dame.
I mean, I think it's Virginia Tech pretty easily, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know Notre Dame, it's Mike Bray's like last run with
the send-off game. Yeah.
So, but they score 5 more points a game. They give up 3 less points. I mean, I don't
know what Clemson was doing. They just sleepwalk against these underperforming teams, and that's the whole reason why Notre Dame is ranked ranked 14th instead of 15th, and also they beat us earlier in the year. But I mean, they demolished Clemson. I don't know what's going on with Clemson. I think they're not even going to go far in this tournament here. But Notre Dame, I think that was just a one-hit wonder at the end of the year for them to kind of send Mike Bray regular season out, and now I think they're probably going to get demolished, because last time they played Virginia Tech, it was a 6-point loss, and it was at home. Now you're in the ACC tournament. Virginia Tech's looking to keep it going, and I think Virginia Tech is going to probably win this by like 10, 12 points.
Yeah, I'm with you there. So moving on, I guess just looking forward, who, we'll preview those first round games because we don't know what's going to happen, who's going to win, predicting too far into this. Who do you think is going to come away on Saturday, the ACC conference tournament champion?
Like I said, I think Miami has the right tool set. They're number one. They have Wong on their team who's can just score. I believe he's averaging 18 points a game, somewhere around there. They just have it, and they made a run last year to the lead 8, I believe, and I think they are hitting a nice stride right now, and I feel like it's going to be Miami at the end of this with the ACC championship trophy. But I can see Duke very well giving them a hard game on Friday. I think that'll be a great game. But again, Duke has to beat Duke has to either beat Pittsburgh or Florida State. But, we'll see. I think it's going to be Miami, though, at the end.
I just, I like Miami. I don't really trust Virginia or Clemson at the bottom. I feel like that's just kind of, they got a really easy road to Saturday.
Yeah.
And I think Duke and Miami are probably the top 2 teams in the league.
Duke has the most upside just because they have raw talent, and those freshmen aren't freshmen anymore. They're sophomores, and Lively is coming alive nevertheless. But he's playing really well right now, averaging, I think, 3 blocks a game. That's what I said. I think that 1 versus 4 matchup on Friday with Duke and Miami is going to be a really good game. Whoever wins that is going to probably win the tournament.
Yeah, I can agree with that too. You got Miami. I think Duke will come away on Saturday. Well, I agree with whoever wins on Friday between Miami and Duke will probably definitely take it on Saturday.
Oh yeah.
So
that's our ACC champion.
Yeah, there's our
going
ACC
with Miami for me, Duke for Jordan. All right. That's probably the only time you ever cheer on a Duke team, isn't it?
I won't cheer for them. I'm just picking. There's a difference.
I got you.
I cheer for them. I don't think I could ever let myself do that. So we'll move on. I guess we'll just move on to the SEC.
I'm about to say that we got Kentucky in there. Might as well move to them. Wednesday's just a freaking busy day of games, and that's why you love it.
Yeah, definitely gonna be enjoying these games this week while sitting at work. So I'm just
off all week, baby.
You're off all week now. That's perfect.
Yeah,
that's perfect. I'm just going into SEC play. I think the SEC and Big 12 could probably be the 2 more fun tournaments in terms of teams. They're different styles of play, and kind of the momentum that you've got going with a lot of these teams that are going to be on the bubble and need to have some must wins. Those Wednesday games, South Carolina, Ole Miss, Georgia, LSU, doesn't really matter much in the grand scheme of things, because I think it's the one game that in the early rounds that I think is going to be not maybe chalk is the Auburn Arkansas game on Thursday.
Yeah, that's going to be really good.
Both going to be fighting for tournament lives, and I think Arkansas is probably a little bit more talented. They just have to. They just have to play. Like I had no expectations for Saturday. 0. No point guard for Kentucky. On the road. I I had no expectations, and they proved themselves. But
Mm.
I think Arkansas can still be dangerous.
I think that's the team that really underperformed this year. For the skill level that they have and talent that's on that team, I don't know if it says more about them underperforming or just how powerful the SEC is, but they have really underachieved. I feel like, not even just saying that because they blew Louisville out by 26 points, but just
That's when they
how
were
they
healthy.
played, and
That's when they were
yeah,
healthy.
and they were healthy.
Nick Smith Jr. has been out for most
Hmm.
of the.
Anthony
And he's
Black is definitely going to be a lottery pick. That kid is great for a freshman, and like you said, Smith Jr. being out definitely didn't. He only played 12 games this year, and they have the raw talent, but I think now this is when you have scheme is going to be way more important, and
but
have to
Arkansas has been
see
the
if
only team that's made it. Like they've been to the Elite Eight, I think, the past 2 years. Musselman can coach. I think it's just
see.
getting in there. I think he just needs to
Mm-hmm.
get. He gets in there, and then we can see how that goes. Because I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, my semifinals, I believe, for the SEC, it's probably going to be Alabama versus Tennessee,
Yep.
and then Kentucky down at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
It's either going to be A&M or Arkansas. It really depends on if Arkansas can score the basketball.
I don't
But
know. I mean, Auburn put up a
A&M
good fight against Alabama, though, and like I
A&M
said
is
before, this is when you want to play really well, and they're playing well.
so. Uh, no, I mean, my mind tells me to not pick Kentucky to win it
Mm-hmm.
because I think that I don't know the injury situation with Kassan, what he's going to be like. I know Wheeler's out. I don't think he's going to be back until tournament NCAA tournament time, if he's even back for that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and just whoever you get coming out of that other quarterfinal matchup, whether it be Auburn or Arkansas, those two. If you play either of them, they're on the bubble. They need a win against a tournament team, or A&M because I mean A&M just they're pesky on defense. They're just
Mm-hmm.
I mean I don't know if it
So
was
is
more.
Kentucky a lock to make the tournament already? Are they a lock? Like,
I'm
if
pretty
they
sure.
lose, say they lose in the quarterfinals on Friday, they're still a lock to make it just be a low seed, probably like a 10 seed.
I would say they're safe.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't think there's any way for them to fall out now, uh,
Mm-hmm.
just because they've over the past few weeks, and it could still change too with the tournaments. The quad, I think they were like 1-7 in quad one
Mm-hmm.
wins, and now they're 6-7. So the people that they beat before, because it's all retroactive, the people they beat
Yeah.
before have been performing really, really well, like Texas A&M and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even the Vanderbilt win is moving up on the verge of being a quad one win, and the loss isn't a bad loss.
Yeah.
So I think they're safely in, even if they lose Friday,
I
which
mean,
they
as
could.
of right now, Joe Lenardi has you as a 7 seed. So, I mean, you're
I
going to
don't know.
make it. It's just you're making it on the Purdue side of it. Right now, they have Purdue as a number 2, and that will be your second matchup if you beat West Virginia. So, and you'll be in Louisville, of course. The South region is Louisville. So, well, you'll be in Columbus for that game, but you're in the Louisville region. So, that's good.
Um, I mean, I think, and I'm going with, I think Alabama, Kentucky rematch in the
Mm-hmm.
championship on Sunday. Um, I'd like to not see Tennessee again.
Yeah.
So hopefully they get knocked off along the way. But
Mm-hmm.
Ziegler's out. They lost their point guard, tore his
Mm.
ACL. So, I mean, I don't really.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen that. But I mean, I'm agree with you. I think it's going to be Alabama, Kentucky in the championship, but I think Alabama's going to run away with that. And I think Tennessee will probably get upset in their first game on Thursday just because they have not been playing well. They just lost against Auburn last game of the year. Whether it's South Carolina or Ole Miss, whoever's in that matchup, I think could upset them anyway. So you don't have to worry about playing Tennessee again.
Yeah, I'm not really, I think, with the Alabama game in the title game, if that's what it comes down to, our defense has been really, really well, but our offense has been executing at a very high clip. And man, they were not good from 3-point range on Saturday against the A&M, and they kept shooting. And I mean, it's just at some point, something's got to give, and you got to score the basketball. They just couldn't.
I'd say we're gonna have to do another episode, maybe one if we can fit another one in this week before that championship game, just to see who's there. Same thing with the ACC tournament. Maybe fit in another episode, and we can go ahead and talk about what we've seen so far in this tournament, and then I'm pretty sure we'll have some kind of idea of who's going to make the NCAA tournament and discuss it a little bit more. But I mean, as of right now, I think we're set in stone on that. We think Alabama, Kentucky in the championship game. I just think they have player of the year, which
I think Kentucky could beat them the second go around.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of controversy around the player, but Brandon Miller is a bucket nevertheless. So I think he can really solidify himself as the SEC player of the year. And I think Alabama's just going to run away with it, get the number 1 overall seed, because Houston, they're playing that Houston is going to get the number 1 overall seed just because they should win out in their tournament, shouldn't have any losses, and they're going to win. They look good record wise, but if you look at their, body of work, I think Alabama should, if they win this, they should be the number 1 overall seed, but we'll see how they play out in their respective tournament. But I think Alabama should be the number 1 overall seed if they win this all out, because they've played the harder matchups. They're playing the tougher competition, and they always, sustain that level of play throughout the whole entire year. So,
yeah. I mean, the only thing that worries me about them going far in the NCAA tournament, and they went 7 of 36 from 3-point range. That's a lot.
Is that over a span of how many games, or is that just one game?
That was Saturday against Texas A&M.
If I'm Nate Oates, I'm telling us why we're shooting.
At one point, they were like 3 for 23. So that's when I wanted to figure, I mean,
you have so much size at that point. Why are you shooting so many threes? I know that's what the game is nowadays, is just wide open threes, or not even wide open threes, just getting a 3-pointer off. But dude, I don't know. That's probably definitely a good learning point for Nate Oates to discuss with him. Hey guys, when we're 7 for 36, maybe we need to work in and go get fouled and hit some free throws, or just working inside. I don't know. I think a lot of teams nowadays look for that 3 ball way too much, and they just think, three's more than 2, yes, but if you not hitting the 3 ball, what does it matter?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them. I mean, there's quite a few of them that were. I mean, they weren't just like jacking them up. They were open. They just weren't going down. So you got Alabama.
Step in, man. Yeah, got Alabama.
All right, I got Kentucky. We'll move on. These next 3 would be pretty quick. I mean, there's not with Big 12.
Who you think is going to be in the championship game? Honestly, I told you beforehand. I think it's going to be another Kansas versus Texas matchup. 1 versus 2. I think. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't see. I mean that. I mean, honestly, those first 7 seeds are going to be in the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great league right here. Big 12 is a great league, and I think all these games are going to be great, and it's very exciting. Hopefully I have multiple TVs ready to watch all these games, because it's going to be hard to choose if I want to watch Kansas versus Texas Tech, or Kansas State versus TCU, or going to watch the SEC tournament or ACC tournament. So it's very exciting.
I get your setup ready. I think I could see Kansas and Texas. I could see Baylor upsetting Kansas, but I could also see, like Kansas State or TCU upsetting Texas at the bottom. So, I mean,
Yeah.
The safe bet, honestly, would probably be another Kansas-Texas rematch. And I think this is Bill Self's time of year. You
Yeah.
don't you don't lose very many
Yeah.
of these. I think it'll be
He doesn't
Kansas.
lose often in March. He doesn't. So
Only thing he
I think
loses.
it's going to be Kansas running away with it.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it'll be
taking
high
care of
scoring.
business.
I think
Oh
it's gonna
yeah.
be
What was their score? Because they just played let's see, because they just played end of the year. Yeah, they just played and oh man, yeah. So Texas demolished Kansas 75-59. So
wow.
I mean, the
I don't know
time
what
they
I
played
saw.
before that, Kansas won, but it was so whoever's at home has won the matchups this year. Kansas, won a tighter game, 88-80, high scoring, but at the end of the year when you want to play your best ball, looks like Texas dropped. I remember we talked about this earlier. It depends on how Texas plays in these last 4 matchups, and they went 2 of 2, losing to Baylor by 9, losing to TCU, I believe, on a buzzer beater. And then, going out there and beating Kansas, you're kind of mixed views on them because they beat Iowa State, who we said is going to be in the tournament, by 18 points, and then you lose to Baylor, lose to TCU, but then you beat Kansas. It's like, all right, where are we at with them? So I
But
think Texas is one of those
those are all
toss-up.
tournament teams. So
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, Texas has dealt with a lot, obviously, this year, losing your head coach, having an interim step in. You still got the 2 seed in the Big 12, which obviously this year's not an easy task
mm-hmm.
to do. So, I mean, I can see Kansas or Texas winning this one.
Yeah. I mean, Kansas, other than that Texas slip up last week, they've been on a nice little win streak, starting with that Texas game earlier in the year, 88-80. They've won 7 of their last 8, so they're in the right stride. I think they'll bounce back. It's the tournament. That's when they get, a lot more momentum going and motivation to win because they want to win that title. So
Yeah.
I got Kansas, Texas in the championship game, and I'm gonna go ahead and take Kansas to win it all.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I can agree with that one. That's pretty easy. Another one that's really easy, probably, is going to be the Pac-12.
Yes.
That I just think it's going to be UCLA is going to get a cut three straight wins and move on to the NCAA tournament. Probably as a 1 seed in the
Yeah,
West.
they should be. They should be. It's going to probably be if Purdue can um, win the Big Ten. I think they'll go all the way, being the number 1 seed in the tournament. But I think it's going to be UCLA in there with Alabama, Purdue if they win, and Houston being the 4 overall seeds, number 1 overall seeds. So
I don't have much on the Pac-12 other than UCLA.
yeah. Arizona's good. I mean, I hate to be the 1 versus 2 matchup again, but I mean, that's who's been winning. That's who's shown they deserve to be in that championship game consideration. So I'm going, UCLA versus Arizona in the championship, and then UCLA just running away with it. I love Mick Cronin. I wish he would have came to Louisville, but I understand why he didn't.
I would have
But yeah.
hated him more than I hated Chris Mack.
Oh, probably. Yeah, very, very much so. That guy, I just love the way he coaches. And I mean, he has that Rick Pitino mindset, and you don't have much of those coaches anymore. And I can't wait to see what team Rick Pitino's on next year as a coach. I don't think it'll be Texas. I mean, yeah, they can pay him a nice chunk of money, but I don't think it will be Texas. I think he's more of a Northeast guy. So he's probably going to go up somewhere towards St. John's, Georgetown, one of those original Big East teams.
Big Ten tournament time starts on Wednesday at Ohio State and Wisconsin, Minnesota, Nebraska. And Ohio State and Wisconsin being on the first day
It's
is
weird.
more shocking than anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think Ohio State has won in a long time, actually. But I mean, just looking at this, Michigan State's riding high. Northwestern has the 2 seed.
Yeah, they've been playing really well.
That is a little crazy. And then you got Indiana as the 3, and then Purdue sitting at the 1. What are your thoughts, Mr. Part-time Indiana fan, on this tournament?
Well, I mean, those top 4 seeds, I I like Indiana out of that because I mean we beat I say we, but beat Purdue twice. They did lose to Northwestern, and that's who they're going to have to get out of, beat just to get to the championship game. I believe they slipped up against Maryland, and they're hitting the right stride. They just beat Michigan, game I went to last night. Went overtime. It was a great game. You can't really bet against TJD. Trace Jackson Davis has been playing really well. Lights out. It's his last go around. I think Indiana can be in the championship game right here. And I think it'll be, like I said before, Purdue. They win this out, they will be that number one overall seed. And they want that number one overall seed. And I think they're going to come in there, give him the ball to Edey. And I think it'll be another Purdue versus Indiana matchup in the championship. And you never want to play a team 3 times in a year because they know all your flaws and they know exactly what kind of sets you're running. So it will be a difficult championship game to win in Chicago. I'll be home back in Chicago for that game. Won't probably be at the game, but it'll be cool just to be there. That's a hard one to pick. It's going to be Indiana versus Purdue in the championship.
I think I'm rolling with Indiana, Michigan State in the championship game because just like this is Bill Self's time of year, this also Tom Izzo's time of year. They snuck into that double bye. They are riding pretty high at the moment. I think they'll be able to knock off Purdue, and I think Indiana, whether it be, Northwestern or I believe Penn State, will probably take out Illinois because they're fighting on that bubble. Whether they're playing Penn State or Northwestern, I think they will get past that and make the title game on, I believe their title game's Sunday. Yeah, it has to be Sunday. So
yeah, I believe they're the last game before Selection Sunday
yeah, they start at 2:00 or something, and then they end right into Selection Sunday, which is always so stupid.
Yeah, because the SEC plays at 1 p.m. for their championship on Sunday. The ACC finishes on Saturday. Big 12 plays at 5 p.m. Central Time on Sunday. So they may be right in the running with the Pac-12 finishing up on Sunday as well. No, Pac-12 finishes on Saturday. That's weird. I wonder how they finished so early. Well, yeah, it'll be either the Big 12 or Big 10 finishing last, but I think it's going to be Indiana.
Big 12 is Saturday as well.
They are? Okay. Yeah, so it'll be the Big 10 finishing last.
Big 10, SEC are the only ones that play on Sunday. But yeah, so so we'll I think Indiana, Michigan State, and then it's a toss-up. And you can get a Purdue. Probably at that point, if it's Indiana Purdue, I'll probably take Purdue because it is very difficult to beat someone 3 times.
Yeah. Well, it'll be the third matchup against Michigan State this year as well. They both split at home. Indiana won at home 82-69, and then Michigan State won at their place 80-65. At Michigan was most recent. It was 4 games ago. Indiana has split the last 4 games 2-2. So, like I said, they're just running off a high right now with their seniors playing right now are very important players, Race and Miller Cup and Trace Jackson Davis. I don't think they want to go out losing to a Michigan State team in the championship game or Purdue. You never want to lose to your rival. But to beat them 3 times in 1 year will be, another trophy of its own, successful right there. So I think Indiana's going to win it.
Yeah. So, I don't have any argument with that. Picking Duke and Indiana to win championships is not very fun.
Yeah.
But
you don't like making those selections.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about Louisville making that though.
Yeah, if we make it, trust me, I think you'll hear enough from me.
If you all make it, I just
oh my gosh.
So there's conference tournaments. It's gonna be a fun week.
Oh yeah, man. Telling you, that's what I'll be doing majority of my time is watching that.
No. Well, then I think that's all we got for you this week. We'll be back at it again. Another episode towards this weekend. Another episode at the beginning of next week. Firing them off at you. a lot this month with NCAA tournament. It's going to be a lot of episodes coming out in a short span. So be on the lookout. Keep it up with us. T&J Sports Podcast, ESPN Tournament Challenge. We've got a bracket group. That information will be going out obviously once once Election Sunday, once that bracket's revealed, that'll be shared on all of our social media multiple times. Get in. I think we're doing $10 a bracket. Might be a discount if you do too. We're gonna figure that out. All those details will be out there this Sunday, right around 6:30. I think that's when the bracket's finally done. So we'll be back at it, and Drizzy's out.
Tstalls out.